Runis are not the most terrible thing to come to Splinterlands. I am just very, very salty that I missed the whitelist sale, but let's get into everything Runi in this video. So Runicore, or Runi for short, are basically going to be super limited edition promo cards, but more importantly, they're going to basically be a NFT collection where it's going to be a more of a profile picture NFT. So in this article, you guys can read it, but they basically will compare it to CryptoPunks and Bored Apes. And what will happen is there's 6 different visual attributes. So if we look at some of the art they've already shared with us, so we can already see such as this one, but you'd imagine that there would be an effects. So above the head, body, arm, and then there would be one more which would be background. So I'm imagining it's top of head, body, background, and then arm. So those are the different effects for your Runi, because you can see in this example, the arm would be a fish, body is clergy, head some monster, and then the top of the head or hat will be Viking helmet, and then background. It's this style of art is very similar, except maybe this one, instead of a hat, it's now horns, then it's a helmet, then it's a body, then it's a sword, and then it's a green background. And then in this artwork, you can see there's a jester hat, a balloon that's exploded, a very cool wolf cloak, and then a smiley face balloon weapon. But basically what it is everyone will get a unique NFT. Well, they say it's unique. It depends how many attributes there are, but basically you plug it into a computer algorithm, and then the algorithm will spit out, there's going to be 6,500 in total. And if there's 6 different attributes and each attribute has 10 to say 11, or that's a bad example, 10 to 15 different elements, or even 6 to 15 elements, the amount of combinations between the 15 elements and the 6 attributes basically could be like 100,000 different combinations, but only 6,500 will be selected of that. So it's going to be really cool. Basically, you will have your own unique one-of-one NFT. Maybe there'll be some similar, depends on how they allocate rarity. So there should be some attributes and elements that are rarer than others. So for example, there could be a 20% chance that everyone gets a Viking helmet, but only a 0.1% chance that you get a mythic sword or fish sword. So as I said, they do compare it to the Bored Ape Yacht Club as well as CryptoPunks. So if you look at Bored Ape Yacht Club, you can see that as you scroll down, it's the same type of thing where you have different attributes such as your clothing, your skin or your fur color, in this case, your mouth, your eyes, your hair, and of course your background. And then I don't expect Runis to be worth 83 Ethereum, but if you look at the pricing, if the floor price ones or the worst ones are about 83 Ethereum, if you were to get to something that's a lot more desirable, so if we go to fur, and you can see that they've allocated different rarities based on the fur, so there's far more brown, dark brown, black furs, but if we went down to a color that is way more rare in terms of how often it was selected, like solid gold, you will now suddenly see a much like a crazier price, but it doesn't have to be solid gold. We can go to something like a zombie, and even then it will have a premium. So the zombie premium is already like 7 Ethereum. If we jump to a robot, it's still, well, robots are actually a lot more, but that makes sense. It's a little bit more rare than zombies. And that also depends on the community. So if we deem that certain Runis and certain elements are more valuable and more desirable, they will have a premium price on them. So this is where, if you have any knowledge in profile picture NFTs and like 10,000 collection NFTs, that's when that type of knowledge will come into play, which is what I've been doing for the last, I don't know, 6 months recently, I got really into Ethereum and Solana NFTs. But I can tell you right now that this is my favorite one. So what they've done is they've shown us a pretty. So obviously, when you craft your Runi, it will be a lot more random. So you might have the head of a flower, the body of a fish, and the weapon of a gladiator. Like, it'll be completely random, your 6 attributes, but there will be those that actually make sense and have a like general theme. So this would be a like proper genuine themed Runi, where it's like a plant body with a nature hand and a nature head. Maybe not the stars could change, but this is probably, concept one that then will be rolled into other different collections. Same as like the gladiator, same as this stone emperor's sorcerer type thing. But as we continue going down Runis, so as much as I joke and say that they're terrible, they are not terrible at all. I absolutely love Runis. I just, unfortunately, the whitelist that only lasted a minute and a half, it started at 2 a.m. in China time, and I just couldn't wake up for it. So the way that they're doing their mint is that it's going to be $500 each per Runi, but because they wanted to give some luxury to the Splinterlands community and they wanted us to get it in first, they allocated 2,000 to the Splinterlands community, and we could then get a whitelist, in which case it would be half price, so 250, but the whitelist would have cost 100 vouchers, which would have been about $50. So you get about a $200 discount if you get the whitelist and you pay 100 vouchers. So once again, the link to the article will be up here, but I'm just quickly going through it and sharing my thoughts. So what's really nice about this collection is that it's not just going to be a profile picture. I think even if it was just a profile picture, that would be amazing. But what you can do is, as long as you stake your Runi, so you will then lock it up essentially, what will happen is you will get your individual Runi into your wallet, and then you can play it as a playable card. And I quite like this. I think most 10,000 profile picture community-based NFT collections, such as the Bored Ape Yacht Club, Cool Cats, like most of the biggest ones that you can name, Degenerate Ape Academy on Solana, a lot of these type of collections, what they'll do is they'll make a art collection and then they will scramble to find utility for it. So they'll make this big collection, they'll get a big community, there'll be people that bought in early and then sold at a much higher price. There'll be people that bought in at a higher price that then are expecting the creators to deliver more utility and find different ways to provide value for their assets. I like that Splinterlands went the other way around, where they created one of the best play to earn games ever, and then now they're creating their art community profile pictures so that more community members can basically get connected to the game, as they'll have their own special one-of-one cards. So it creates a much stronger bond with existing players. Obviously, new NFT collectors on Ethereum get exposure to Splinterlands through the trading of this collection of the Runi. And yeah, I quite dig that. And then I like that there's just a natural sense of utility. Apart from having your own one-of-one, you can bring your one-of-one into the game that you like to play. And let's go over the stats actually. So the good thing about the Runi is it's basically got a self-resurrect. So it's got a new ability that no one else or no other card at the moment has. So when it dies, it self-resurrects, probably with 1 HP, but I'm not too sure. I'm assuming it's like normal resurrect, where it will resurrect with 1 HP. But what you do have is you've got a 6 mana opportunity card, very bad speed, but at least it's got 1 armor, and then its HP is very average. So I think all in all, it is a super broken card, just because it costs 6 mana only, and you can quite easily, as soon as you get it to level 2, it gets True Strike, which will then compensate for the -1 speed, so it will always hit its target. And then at level 3, you then get like the resistance block. And then at level 4, you get 1 additional damage. So when you stake your Runi, it automatically will be the highest level. It just depends what league you're playing in. So if you're playing in bronze, you'll only have a level 1. If you're playing in silver, you'll have your level 2. If you're playing in 3, you'll have your level 3. And if you're playing in diamond and above, you'll have your level 4. The main difference is, I hope that if you are buying your Runi, you are in Silver League, because you do want the True Strike. The difference between level 1, level 2 and level 3, not that big. And definitely the difference between level 3 and level 4 is like tiny, therefore 1 extra damage. But the difference between 1 and 2 is huge. You do need your True Strike, and then ideally you do want your resistance. But I think the card is fantastic, and yeah, I think it will have a lot of use cases. And then once again, because it will be your unique profile picture, I think you will naturally be excited about it, and you will naturally want to grab it. So if you do grab a whitelist, I definitely think you should mint your card. I think it'll be fantastic. I think it's great for the game. I quite like. I have different feelings about the tower defense and the soccer league game, but I definitely think the Runis are a step in the right direction. I think, I absolutely love it, to be honest. And more importantly, they did state that there is going to be additional ways for them to provide whitelists to some of their community members, even the ones that didn't manage to get the first 2,000. So I'm hoping to get one of those. If not, I'll see what to do. Let me know in the comments down below if you think it's worth it to buy it at full price at $500 or if I should hold my breath and hope to try and get it at a little bit cheaper at $250 to $300. Catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.